Hey everybody, welcome to another Wednesday Lunch live sketch. My name is Frank Summers and today we are going to be sketching Darkwing Duck. So without any ado, why don't we just hop on over to our drawing here in Photoshop. So first thing I did a little bit of homework first. I just drew some just to give you an idea, drew some thumbnails of him in different poses. Just to see what I thought was good, what worked. I haven't drawn him in a long time, so it took a little while for me actually to find my flow with him. So, and I wound up liking this one the best. Where's my pencil? There it is. Hold on, pencil, pencil, pencil. There you are. I like this guy the best. For some reason, this gestural drawing just spoke to me more. About Darkwing's character, about how he's got this false bravado, and yet this kind of weird, this thing with the finger is kind of weird. But he's got his chest sticking out a little bit. So I just took that that gestural drawing, and I blew it up, enlarged it. I'm gonna even rename this layer as roughs, and I'm gonna make a new layer on top. We'll just roughs 2, roughs version 2. We'll knock this layer down a little bit. Bring the opacity down. And again, the original sketch was just to give me an idea of what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go with him, what the pose is going to be like. And so now what we'll do is we'll just go in here. I'm going to pick a bit of a darker blue so you guys can see it. And I'm just going to start blocking in his shapes a little clearer, as I usually do. I'm going to make sure this line right here is going to flow all the way down into his foot, like that. A nice strong curve, which will balance out against these lines over here, tapering into a fist. Okay. And again, right now, all I am doing is I'm trying to solidify. Here's his trunk. I'm just solidifying my concept. His face in particular is a little off, but I'm going to revisit that very soon. And I'm just going in, blocking in my idea here. I want to make sure I'm clear on what I want to do. Okay, cool. Okay, the hat. I wanted to make sure the silhouette was strong. I talk a lot about silhouette. The silhouette, if you are new to drawing, a silhouette is the area that we see instinctively around the character. And at a glance, these are the types of things that help us read and understand what the character is doing through his pose and through his gesture. So I took some time to make sure that his silhouette was strong, and I wanted to get his feet, like he's up on his tiptoes a little bit, to help him look like he was making himself look a little larger than what he is. Okay, so now I'm feeling a little better about what I started. Let's zoom in a little bit here, and we'll start really trying to define his face a little better. Here's his cheeks. And we're going to get his bill in there. I used to draw him all the time when I was in grade school. And the bill always gave me trouble. The bill is a pretty complex shape. So at times, you have to. And even for Darkwing in particular, because he's got a little bit of a jaw, or excuse me, a chin, I should say. And I always used to exaggerate it too much. I would give him like this crazy chin, you know what I mean, where it should be something more like that. So let's start getting the eyes defined a little more. One could be a little more squinty. One could be up, raised a bit more. I don't know where I want them looking. I want them looking there. Where a character is looking really plays a large role in how we perceive him. I mean, these pupils are okay. I don't want to make them cross-eyed. You guys, nah, let's try it. You know, it's about trying different things. That could work. The cross-eyed could work. So let's roll with that for now. And notice I said roll with it for now because you can always change your mind. You can always go back and address things. See, I'm pushing this cheek out a little bit, but it's looking a little awkward. Maybe what I need to do is bring it, and by awkward I mean I'm pushing it out on purpose beyond the arm to, again, to create that silhouette. However, it's looking too stretched. So what I might need to do is just tuck the arm in a little bit. Just tuck it in and use my eraser. Just erase what I don't need. And again, this is just, I'm blocking in the areas, the shapes, I'm defining them. Defining the shapes. I might want this tip hat to come down lower. You know, there we go. My eraser has been acting strange lately. Photoshop in general has been acting strange lately. It's been crashing. It crashed on me last week, and it's been doing it a lot. What here while I'm at work? Quite sure what's going on with that. It's a little frustrating. Thankfully, Photoshop is pretty forgiving, and it gives you recovery files. So he's got a bit of a turtleneck going on, and he has like a double-breasted jacket. He's got 4 buttons. And this area definitely gets a little crunched. Here's his lapels of his jacket. One swoops across, the other one comes out. And it'll tuck up here someplace because his arm is raised. And the cape just kind of appears out from under the lapel. This part of the cape can disappear up here someplace. And it'll reappear behind his arm over here. But we won't see that. Here's his tongue. Give him an interior of the mouth a little bit. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's do our old trick of zooming out, way out, way out, way out. And if I, too far. And if I squint, I'm squinting my eyes at it, and it's reading okay. And when I'm squinting at it, what I'm looking at, again, I want to talk about the silhouette. I'm actually looking at where I drew these crossed hairs. Because again, oh, just a glance, if I'm flipping through a book, or if I'm just flipping through the internet, images, you know, you're just seeing all these images flying at you, right? And what helps you read something quickly is actually not the interior of it, but the exterior of the image, the silhouette. And if you see a strong silhouette, reading properly, it creates interest. That is what makes you stop doing what you're doing and look at the image. Makes you look at it just a little bit longer. I think he has 3 fingers. Pretty sure he has 3 fingers. You know, Darkwing Duck is kind of a show that when it first aired, I was super excited for it. And how are we doing on time here? Again, I don't like to make these too long. I only want to go about 15, 20 minutes tops. So we got maybe another 5 minutes here. Anyway, I was really excited for it. And I remember thinking, it was really blown away by the first episode. I remember thinking it was so well animated. Clearly they had their A-team on it. And I felt like subsequent episodes just did not live up to it. And I still watched it anyway. Let's streamline that part right here. And we'll have the cuff. And now down here. So the term streamlining is just taking shapes and moving them into one, crunching them down into one straight line. But I think I want his jacket to come out, and then we have his body here, if that makes sense. And actually, This might be too much. Let's curve and a straight. The curve under the arm and a straight. Okay. And now let's work into the feet. Pretty sure these are pretty straight. I did refer to the model sheet earlier on. And I know I have a tendency of making the feet way flatter than what they really are. I generally have a tendency of making the feet like flat objects almost, if you can see that. When in reality, they have a little bit of curve to them and, you know, something like that. So let's refine this a little better. All right. There we go. And then this is something like this, where these feathers end. There's like a little S curve in there. And as for the cape, step back a little bit. I mean, he's coming along okay. I'm feeling good about this for the most part. I'm just looking at him. I'm going to zoom out again. Do the old flip trick. Actually, let's save first, guys. Make sure we save, transform, flip, and let's hide the thumbnail underneath. And this is kind of surviving the flip test, but now what I am instantly seeing that this arm is way thicker than what it should be, and it probably should be straighter. Oh, flip test, you immediately show us all the nasty. Let me fix my eraser here. See, I don't know why my eraser, this should be a hard eraser, and it's not quite. What the deal is with that? And maybe it's because this arm is out too far. So maybe what I can do is just scooch it back in again. It's way too thick. And like since this arm is up, so I have this shoulder line here, if you can see that, it probably should be exaggerated a bit more. I'm going to make a corrections layer. I'm going to grab some red. I'm going to pull this down a little bit and get in there with my corrections. I can see the fist is wrong. You know. So like this probably should. What if I do something like this? Bring the arm up. Should probably be a little bit more like this. Let's get into the face and adjust. Here's our center line. And the other eye, let's adjust. Here's our center line for the bill. Okay. Alrighty. Move back out again. Let's work the hat. Let's work the hat a little bit because it's looking strange. Now, if this is his cranium underneath, right? We have his cranium. The hat could probably sit a little lower. And it could probably come down entirely a little more. There we go. The mask line. The mask line is running into the bill. I don't know if you guys can see that. For this line here, the mask is going in. It's like a tangent. It's a bad design move on my part, which means I probably have the mask in the wrong place. So we can just take the mask and scoot it in and bring the bill to the outside. Step out. Okay. I do like the arm raised better over here. The fist. And this could be tighter. So his mouth probably could come over here someplace. And his chin can be moved over, and his tongue, the whole mouth can be moved over. There we go. And I'm just constantly working over my shapes, trying to define them. So let's try and get that crazy turtleneck thing he has going on. That rests underneath. Let's give it some bumps. And I think part of the problem too is that his lapel needs to come up higher. It's like rolling back behind his head someplace. And this could probably be, because there's quite a curve going on here. There we are. Better. And I think I could probably push the hand a little more. Let's try. Let's erase what we have. And here's a wrist. Maybe what we can do is do something like this. And hide the roughs. Maybe. It could be. I don't know about that one. This one might. Might have to sit on this one for a bit. Give that one some thought. I mean, it could go straight back. So I'm just trying all the options. I am exhausting my options. I'm working very quickly and loosely. Hide. Step back. How does it look? I mean, that could work better. The fact that the hand's tilted a little bit like that works a little better. I see my time is running low here. I'm going to try and just what I'm going to do is take my, his head might be a little bit big too. I'm going to take my corrections. And what I want to do is flip. Let's link these layers. Let's flip them back over. Link. Let's flip again back to what it was. Transform, flip horizontal, do a save. Step back out again. Yeah, I like the hand better tilted back in the red. And I'm going to make another layer. I'm going to work over again what I just did. We'll call it roughs 3. And let's pull down some of this stuff so that we can get a bit of a clearer view of what we're working on. I'm going to try and now I'm going to try to tie it down the best that I can here. Tie down means I'm going to go a little darker. Now I'm really going to try and nail down my lines and my shapes. This could be straighter. I think my initial problem was that I put too much of a curve in it. Okay. And let's try and work his face a little better here. Here's our bill. Let's tie this down. Let's really get these eyes good. The eye can tuck behind the hat. even kind of, let's push it. Let's push it. There we go. The terror that flaps in the night, guys. All right. Good. You know, when I listen to these back, all I hear sometimes is my Cintiq. It just sounds like I'm destroying my Cintiq. The microphone is right on top. That's why, so it picks up all of my scratching. Straight down. His hand could be Disney-fied a little better. All right. Straight down. Good. He's on his tippy toes. Put some pressure on the toes. Okay, good. Straight, straight. Stick his chest out. Straight down. Straight down. That reads a bit better. I had too much curves going on. I was going against what the design is. And the interior of the cape. Kicking back up to somewhere around here someplace. And then these guys right here. I think that'll do it for today's live sketch. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to have this cleaned up, and I'll have it posted to my blog. I'll post a link. I'll update the YouTube video with a link pointing to it. There's definitely still some things I'd like to pick out and work with on here a little bit. Maybe his head slightly big. I can pull that down. His hand up here is looking better. But overall, I think he came along pretty far away. If I just hide, you know, he started off there and he came to here. So all in all, not a bad sketch. I thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully you guys will, if you like what you see, hopefully just subscribe to my channel, and that'll do it. I do this every Wednesday around noon, and that'll be it, guys. Have a good day.